السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والصلاة والسلام على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين أما بعد. Before I begin the khatira, just to make sure our questions about sujood at-tilawa, prostrating when a particular verse is recited, you don't have to be in a state of wudu in order to do that. You don't have to face the qibla. And for the sisters, you don't have to be wearing your full salah garment. So whatever state you are in, then you can go ahead and do sujood tilawa. And that is because it's not considered to be a form of salah, but rather a simple form of ibadah, worship. So a terrible feeling to feel is to feel alone. And another terrible feeling to feel is when you fail yourself. When a person cracks under the weight of their own responsibilities. When a person feels that there is no one to support them. Those are two very difficult situations. And that also implies something important. That having someone to support you is a very, very big blessing. And having someone to hold that responsibility with you, to bear some of that burden, is also an enormous blessing. And for us Muslims, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala shows us how we can guarantee ourselves someone to support us and someone to hold that responsibility with us, despite our situation, unconditional and guaranteed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, قُلِ ادْعُوا اللَّهَ أَوْ ادْعُوا الرَّحْمَنَ أَيَّمَّا تَدْعُوا فَلَهُ الْأَسْمَاءُ الْحُسْنَى. Say, call Allah or call out to the most benevolent, Ar-Rahman. Either one you call out to, then know to Allah belongs the beautiful names and attributes. And it is fundamental to our iman, fundamental to building and developing that uns with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that we learn His names and attributes and learn how they are relevant to us and how we can utilize them for our own well-being. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us access to Him, direct access to Him in the most simplest of ways. Call one of His names, subhanahu wa ta'ala. And what's beautiful about Islam, that makes it so relevant to each individual, despite their ethnicity, their race, their nationality, their gender, their age, their intelligence level, their financial situation, regardless, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has made our religion beautiful in that He doesn't depict Himself with a physical image. Because when He has, or if He were to be depicted in a physical image, then it would resonate more with some people, and others would feel a little bit left out. Like how they take images of revered individuals and make him or her look like a particular race or ethnicity. And thus it seems like that individual is more relevant to that race and ethnicity, as if that race and ethnicity is superior to others. But what you find in Islam is that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala cut that and prevent it from happening by not depicting Himself and forbidding us from depicting our Prophet alayhi salatu wassalam. And there are many wisdoms in that regard. And one of the most beautiful wisdoms that I have come across in that regard is that when we think of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, instead of thinking of something physical, something tangible, what comes to our mind is His beautiful names and attributes. When we think of Allah, we think of Ar-Rahman, the most benevolent. When we think of our Lord, we think of Ar-Ra'uf, the most compassionate. We think of Al-Muhsin, the most excellent. We think of Al-Jamil, the most beautiful. We think of Al-Mu'ti, the one who gives. Al-Razzaq, the provider, the one who always provides. And what's so amazing and profound about this is that there's always a name and attribute that's relevant for your situation right now. And no matter how your world changes, no matter how your situation changes, then what you will find is that there are names and attributes that will come into play to make sure that you don't feel alone, and to make sure that there are these names and attributes that help you lift that burden off of your back. You're going through a financial struggle, then you can call out to Al-Razzaq, Al-Raziq, Al-Mu'ti, Al-Wahhab, Al-Kareem, Al-Jawad. All of these names revolve around Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala as the provider, the one who sustains us, and the most generous, the one who gives and the one who gifts. If you are going through a difficult situation with, for example, a child, your child is misbehaving and you don't know how to deal with it, you can call out to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and say, "Oh Allah, Ya Rahman, Ya Rahim, have mercy on me and my situation. Ya Hakim, oh the most wise, give me the wisdom to deal with this situation. Ya Alim, oh most knowledgeable, teach me how to deal with this situation." So no matter where you are, who you are, and what time you live in, Allah's beautiful names and attributes make Him relevant to you as an individual, to your circumstance, no matter how unique it might be or how difficult it might be. And there's something else so beautiful about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's names and attributes, and that is when we call out to Allah, we use His names and attributes as this verse says. And therefore when we make dua, it is very important that we say, "Oh Allah, you are this and you describe yourself this way, so answer my dua. I need some help financially and you are the provider. I need help when it comes to my health and you are Ash-Shafi, the one who heals." Whatever it may be, there's a name that you can use. And what's so beautiful about this is that you no longer have to depend on yourself in order to reach a result. You depend on Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ibn al-Jawzi rahmatullah alayh, one of the Hanbali scholars, and a very prominent one, he says that the best way to reach out to Allah is through himself, to ask Allah by himself. And what that means is the following. We say, "Oh Allah, because you are the most merciful and you love mercy, have mercy on me. I depend on you as the most merciful to achieve mercy in my life. Because you are Al-Razzaq, the one who provides, the one who loves to give, the one who loves to be generous, then be generous with me. I depend on you as the most generous in order to fulfill my needs in this life." You take that burden off your back, and many times we crack under that weight. But when we focus on Allah's names and attributes, when we depend on His names and attributes, it gives us that solace, that guarantee, that tranquility, that no matter how heavy of a burden, of a load might be on my back, then I can depend on the names and attributes of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that never fail, that never make a mistake, that never fall short, subhanahu wa ta'ala. So no matter who you are and what your state is, all you need is to awaken those emotions and call out to Allah. Because you describe yourself this way, I invoke you using that description in order for you to help me. Because you love mercy, have mercy on me. And this is how the Prophet ﷺ taught us. Allahumma innaka afuun tuhibbul afwa fa'fu anni. Oh Allah, you are the one who pardons and you love to pardon, so pardon me. You see how that works? You see how easy it can make our lives? How beautiful it can make our situation? And for that reason, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala calls His names and attributes the most beautiful names and attributes, because not only do they beautify Allah's image in our minds, subhanahu wa ta'ala, but they also reach us to beautify our own situation and to turn even the most darkest and seemingly hopeless situations into a bright situation and a better one. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to teach us His beautiful names and attributes, to help us observe His names and attributes and how He expresses them in the world around us, so that we may depend on Him and not on ourselves, so that He may always be relevant to us instead of us looking for something relevant and something relevant to our cause. وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Please continue to support OCIF. Your support is what keeps this message thriving, and we always look to apply new things and to always satisfy the needs and the spiritual needs of our community. So please continue to support us. Don't forget Zakat al-Fitr, and if you have the kafara or the fidya that you have to pay, you can do that on OCIF's website. When you type in the amount right under it, there should be like a pencil symbol, and next to it says special instructions. Just simply click on that and type, this is Zakat Fitr or Zakat Mal or Fidya, whatever it may be. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.